Oh, hello! My name is Mara, and welcome to Books Like Whoa. Okay, we've got another book tag up. Like I mentioned previously, I've gotten tagged a lot recently by original tag creators to do tags. The word tag was in that sentence a lot. And whenever that happens, I do my best to write that down and try to get to it because I appreciate people thinking about me and wanting me to do it. So this week we have an original tag by my friend Amanda at the Naughty Librarian. She is fantastic. I'll have her information below. And she has a new tag called the Back to School book tag. And there's variants of this out there. I think I actually did one variation of this last year, but yeah, she's so great. If you love romance, if you love like YA and like especially like YA fantasy in general, she reads a lot of sort of like genre fiction, I think, and she does a ton of stuff with like author events and like bookish events. So yeah, definitely go check Amanda out. She is absolutely lovely. She's been so kind to me, and she's just the best. So check out her, and yeah, I thought I would run through these questions. My approach, I usually like plan out my answers, but for this little batch of them, I'm just reading the questions as I go and responding, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, question 1 is new school year, the start of something new. Pick an awesome debut novel. Okay, oh, the one that comes to mind is Act Like It by Lucy Parker. She writes contemporary romances that are all set in the West End, like the London's theater scene basically, and they are just so charming. They are not very, like, they're not overly sexual, so if you're somebody who likes something that is like has romance elements to it but you don't like the sexy bits, there's not a lot of that in her books. And Act Like It in particular is one of the best contemporary romances I have read in quite some time, and it was a debut, I believe. Or I say, well, it was a major press debut because I think she was writing under a different name, some self-published stuff, but it was a debut. Let's just go with that. But yeah, Act Like It is a lot of fun because it's two actors who both have like reputation issues and they're co-starring in a play, and so they have to be in a fake relationship, and shockingly enough it turns into something more. So yeah, that was a really, really great book, and a great example of the genre, and really impressive, I think, for a new author. Okay, teachers. They're there to teach and guide you. Pick a character that is full of sage-like wisdom. I mean, I see that Amanda's answer was Dumbledore, obviously, and like that is the first person to come to mind. I mean, Dumbledore, I feel like, I don't know, he was such an instructive part of all of our childhoods, or a lot of our childhoods, if you are of a certain age or younger, just because, yeah, like I think that the whole Harry Potter world, I think, was very formative for a lot of people's sort of like moral development, which is a huge responsibility, and good on J.K. Rowling for handling that responsibility so well. But yeah, he is the person that kind of comes to mind with that. I mean, I could go with Gandalf, though he has, I think, some meh to him sometimes. But yeah, let's just go with Dumbledore, the GOAT, basically. Number 3 is favorite subject. Everyone has that one class that's their favorite. Recommend a book from your favorite genre. Well, that's a little tricky because I'm an omnivore and I read pretty much anything. So I don't know that I have a favorite genre. It really just fluctuates based on like kind of seasonal moods. Like sometimes I'm really into romance, sometimes I'm really into fantasy, whatever. Mystery a lot in the last year just because of my whole Project Poirot thing. You know, I'm gonna say that kind of like my OG favorite genre was classics slash literary fiction. So I'm gonna go with my two favorite, actually these are the two best books I've read this year, and they both are literary fiction. One is Aidi by Roxane Gay, one is How to Be Safe by Tom McAllister. Yeah, you guys have heard me talk about those books a lot, and I'm sure you will continue to hear me talk about them, but yeah, those are my two favorite books of the year, so they're both from kind of my OG favorite genre. Syllabus, the basic layout for everything that's going to happen this semester. Pick a book that was predictable. That's an interesting question. So here's the thing. Genres, any genre, I'm talking from literary fiction to mystery to whatever, has tropes, right? So pretty much every book you read on some level is predictable. The job of the author is to do things to kind of mix those formulas up enough that you have some doubt in your mind that maybe this time the trope is not going to go the way it always goes, or sometimes to genuinely subvert that trope. So I don't know why I threw that in there, but basically I just wanted to say that, like, I think pretty much all books are on some level somewhat predictable. To me, it's an exception when they're not. Like, to me, The Library at Mount Char, the reason I think I like that book so much is because it was one of the few books that I was like, I'm really not totally sure where this is going, and I like it. That being said, a book, oh, here's an example. Okay, so mystery. A lot of times I know who did it pretty soon in a book. Even if I don't know how or why, I often can figure out who. A great example of that recently was One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. The second, and I mean the actual paragraph that the person who done it got introduced, something in me was just like, oh, that's them. Like, that's gonna be the killer. And as I was going on, I was like, I'm wondering how this is going to come together, but I know this person did it, and yeah, like, sure enough, they did. So maybe not, like, the how I knew, but, like, immediately I predicted the what, and I just found, yeah, that in general, I found that book pretty aggressively mediocre for a mystery. I know people really like it for a YA, but I wasn't that impressed. Okay, pencils. I knew I was supposed to be taking notes, but mainly I would just draw, pick a character who's an artist. That's a good question. Okay, literally the only thing I can think of right now is in Possession. The historical timeline, I believe, is between two poets, so we'll go with that. Possession by A.S. Byatt. The two people in the past who the people in the present are researching, I believe, were poets a la, like, a Christina Rossi type, I think, if I remember rightly. It's been a very long time since I've read that book, so there's a chance I'm wrong about that. Number 6 is books. You know, those things that have all the knowledge in them. What book are you currently reading? Oh, wow, okay. The book that I finished today, well, last night I finished Iron and Magic by Ilona Andrews because it was so good. Oh god, that was amazing. I really enjoyed it. And then I got my nails did this afternoon, and while I was doing that, I finished up Can We All Be Feminists, which was edited by June Eric Yurduri, maybe is the last name, and it's essentially about intersectional feminism, and I thought it was a really good sort of like introductory collection of essays to that whole concept. Number 7, backpack. I used to cram entirely too much stuff into mine. Pick a book that just had too much crammed into it. I'm gonna go, actually, you know what? This is controversial. I'm gonna go with Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. The reason I say it's controversial is because I think that, I know that Amanda liked that book a lot more than I did. We kind of have opposite, we're both reading the Witchland series. We're on the same group chat about it, and both of us are interested in the series, but essentially for polar opposite reasons. So she's really liking a lot of the plot stuff, and I'm really kind of not as invested in some of the like micro plots that are happening. And Wind Witch, I just feel like had way too much going on. I think probably 1 or 2 of those storylines should have been condensed or cut, and I think that having Safi and Isolde created just to me, some narrative issues. So anyway, I think that book just had a little too much going on. That being said, now that I've read Sight Witch, I would be interested to go back and read Wind Witch, because I think I would have liked a lot of it better. But really, I'll be interested to see what happens with Blood Witch. I'm hoping that in Blood Witch, she's going to bring some of these kind of disparate threads together again, because I think that it would improve it from a narrative perspective. This is my back to school book tag, created by Amanda at the Naughty Librarian. So thanks, Amanda, for tagging me. And yeah, if you guys get a chance, you should definitely do this tag. I tag anybody who would like to do it. The number 8 was school friends tag. Some people do this tag. I tag you all. Anybody who's interested, go for it. If you are going back to school in any capacity, I wish you all the best. I think by the time this is going up, most people are probably back in school already, but like, hey, whatever. I feel like September is like still beginning of the school year. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please like, subscribe, follow me on the social medias if you are so inclined. I have all that information listed in the description box below, and I will just talk to you later. Bye.